In the summer of 2004, behind a small Burger King restaurant in Richmond Hill, Georgia, a man was found lying on the ground. He was naked, sunburned, and covered in fire ants. No one knew how long he had been there or how he got there. When paramedics arrived, the man was barely breathing. They rushed him to the hospital, and when he woke up, doctors gathered around his bed. One of them asked softly, "Sir, and what's your name?" The man blinked, confused. He looked around the room, his voice trembling. I don't know. He couldn't remember his name, not his birthday, not his hometown, not his family. Everything gone. The man had no wallet, no phone, no identification. The hospital listed him as Burger King Doe at first, then gave him a name, Benjamin Kyle. He remembered certain things, how to make coffee, how to read, how to drive, but his personal memories were completely erased. Doctors diagnosed him with retrograde amnesia, a rare condition where the brain forgets its own past but still functions normally. Benjamin spent months in recovery, hoping his memory would return. But it never did. He couldn't get a job. He couldn't rent an apartment. He couldn't even get a driver's license because he didn't have a birth certificate or social security number. In the eyes of the government, Benjamin Kyle didn't exist. Local news stations picked up the story. They called him the man with no past. Viewers were fascinated. Some thought he was faking. Others believed he was a spy or a runaway criminal. But no records matched him. Not in the FBI, not in missing persons databases, not anywhere. Years went by. Benjamin lived in shelters, sometimes working odd jobs under the table. He grew older, quieter, more isolated. A man who existed in the present with no connection to the past. You know the world, but the world doesn't know you. They collected a sample of Benjamin's DNA and compared it against thousands of family trees looking for a match. It took years, but finally, they found it. Benjamin's DNA matched with relatives in the Midwest. His real name was William Burgess Powell, born August 29, 1948 in Lafayette, Indiana. William had disappeared in the 1970s after suffering a mental breakdown. He'd left his home, abandoned his family, and vanished without a trace. For over 3 decades, no one had seen or heard from him, until he woke up behind that Burger King. When Benjamin, now William, was told the truth, he nodded slowly. He said the name sounded familiar, but his memories were still gone. There were no flashbacks, no sudden realization, just silence. He'd spent over 11 years living as a man without a past, and when he finally learned who he was, the past no longer felt like his. He said softly in one interview, "I know my name now, but I don't know the man behind it." Today, Benjamin Kyle lives quietly away from the spotlight. His story remains one of the most mysterious cases of amnesia ever recorded, a story that makes us question who we really are without our memories. Because sometimes the hardest person to find is yourself.